Good evening, everyone. Salut tout le monde. It's the night you've been waiting for. Of course, it is day 18 of the playoffs, but it's also Canada Day. And it's also Thursday, July 1st, 2021. It's the night of the grand event. It's the EHE Draft Lottery for 2021. Just to show you that it really is July 1st. Hey Siri, what is today's date?
It's Thursday, July 1st, 2021.
All right, thank you very much for that, and I'll just show you my lock screen. It is currently, hopefully you can see that, 10:04 p.m. on July 1st, recording a little later than I had anticipated. I had it all set up a few hours ago, and then life got in the way. But here we are, and I'm happy to be bringing this to you here on Canada Day, or now Canada Eve, Canada Night, evening, something like that. If you are in Nova Scotia or Eastern Canada, sorry, it is no longer Canada Day. But it is still the EHE Draft Lottery. So let's get things started because you've been waiting long enough. And I'm going to have to edit this down and get the graphics in. Got some cool new graphics, which you'll see in a moment. So this evening, we will conduct, of course, 3 drawings. Still 3 drawings. We will discuss possibly changing the draft lottery format next year, but at this time we are conducting 3 drawings using a weighted lottery system to determine the order of the first 16 selections for the 2021 EHE Entry Draft. The first draw will decide the team receiving the first overall selection. The second draw will decide the team receiving the second overall selection, and of course the third draw will decide the team receiving the third overall selection. We've seen in previous years a lot of jumping up and down, not just me jumping up and down over the excitement of everything, but some GMs have definitely been jumping up and down because they have moved up quite significantly in our previous draft lotteries, like last year when Florida moved up from the 10th best chances to get the third overall pick. And in fact, I believe only one draft lottery since we started doing the 3-pick format, I believe only one time has someone not jumped up to the third overall pick, and every lottery that we've had at least one team jump up. Last year in 2020, we had 3 teams move up, and that also happened in 2019 and 2016. So Montreal, who has the best odds, I know I'm jumping ahead, but Montreal for the second straight year has the best odds, and they fell to 4th overall last year. So I didn't think it was possible that they could have a worse season this year than last year, but somehow the Canadiens managed to do it. In real life, they're doing okay. Maybe not for long, but they're doing okay for now. But it is time for Montreal, I think, to get a top draft pick. We will see. Back to the kind of the proceedings here. I mentioned how each pick, obviously, should not be surprised how each pick drawing will go. There are 2 exceptions, though, that I will describe in a moment. The remaining lottery clubs, after those 3 picks are made, will be assigned first-round draft positions based on inverse order of the regular season point total in 2020-2021 of the clubs these picks originally belonged to. Now, the first exception that I mentioned, the Seattle Kraken are now in the Elite Hockey Experience officially, and they will enter the lottery with the same odds as the team that finished the regular season in 29th overall position, or the 3rd worst regular season record, that being the Vancouver Canucks. So the rivalry already starting off there between Vancouver and Seattle. Now, in the first round, the Kraken will hold the selection for no later than 6th overall. But For each subsequent round of the draft, rounds 2 through 7, the Kraken will hold the third pick in each round. To accommodate the addition of a 16th team in the draft lottery, the odds for all participating lottery teams have been adjusted proportionately from the odds utilized in previous draft lotteries. And you can see that on the screen right now with our brand new graphic for the draft lottery. So yeah, they've been adjusted proportionately, allegedly. I noticed something that seemed quite odd, and I tried to actually come up with a little bit better format than what the NHL had. However, I just couldn't make it work. So we're going with the same odds the way the NHL did theirs, and I'll leave it at that. But hopefully the NHL, as they need to in a lot of things, needs to get their act together as far as how these lottery odds go, going forward now with 16 teams. All right, so one of the moments you've all been waiting for, except for it's doing something weird. I'll try it again. This random number generator, have a drink, will select 3 numbers ranging from 1 through 1,000. All numbers were assigned to each team at random by random.org, and the same number assignments will be used for each of the 3 drawings. The odds for the first drawing and the percentage of numbers assigned to each team are listed on the screen once again at this moment, basically because I jumped ahead earlier, and so here's the pretty graphic one more time. The list of the random number lookup chart was posted at the end of the regular season on EliteHockeySim.com. At this time, I'm going to run a couple of test runs just to show you that it is in working condition. Numbers do not actually they shouldn't duplicate. So let me actually make a change because there's no point in duplicating a number. Okay, numbers will not duplicate, but I will clear it. 906, really high number here. 656. 112. All right, you get the idea. So I've cleared that now. So from this point, the club assigned to the first number drawn going forth will secure the right to the first overall selection in the 2021 EHE Entry Draft. This club will not be eligible for the second and third drawings, and all numbers assigned to this club for subsequent drawings will be designated as redraw numbers. And we've had some good success in the past couple of years, so I hope that maintains itself here tonight. Similarly, the club assigned the second non-replicated number drawn will receive the second overall pick and will not be eligible for the third drawing. All numbers assigned to this club will also be designated as redraw numbers for the third drawing. Please be reminded that the draft lottery determines the order of selection for the first round only. For all subsequent rounds, the order reverts to the original order established by inverse order of regular season and Stanley Cup playoff results. We are now well into the second round, of course. There is an exception, the selections assigned to the Seattle Kraken. Again, already stated those rules earlier. There is only one trade transaction that everyone should be aware of. The Florida Panthers, despite making the playoffs this year, the Florida Panthers do hold the rights to the San Jose Sharks first round pick in the 2021 EHE Entry Draft. So Florida, once again, finds a way to get into the draft lottery, despite having a very good, successful season behind Sean Gardner at the helm. So, alles gut. If anyone has any questions, no, you don't have any questions. So we're just going to move forward here. I'm just going to make sure that my phone doesn't go asleep here. And now it's time to make sure you don't go asleep. So here we go. Who will be the first overall selection? Here is your number. Ricky, don't lose it.
977.
977. That's got to be the highest number that we have ever had. And, okay. So 977. Let me write that down. Okay. Next up is the second overall selections lottery pick.
809.
809. 809. Okay. Writing that down. And now the third overall picks. Lottery ball number whatever.
109.
109. For those of you who can do math, that's minus 700. All right, 109. Okay. So we have, we have 3 unique numbers. So that trend continues. That's exciting. So just give me a moment here. Let me throw, once again, that beautiful new lottery odds, all that, and all that in a bag of chips. How about that? Okay, so we've got our board ready to go. At least I thought I was ready to go. I will be in a moment here. These picks have been confirmed by, I don't know who let's do a sponsor. How about these numbers have been made clear by Travelocity and the Travelocity Gnome. I'm going to be traveling soon for the first time since the pandemic started. Hopefully all of you are doing well with your families and, being safe and secure. So, hey, look at that. The EHE Draft Lottery. All right, so starting off with the 16th overall selection in this year's draft, and it belongs to the Anaheim Ducks. So, yeah, the 16th overall selection, brand new to the draft lottery, and no surprises here with the 1% odds of winning. Sorry, Anaheim. Maybe next year. Maybe, but being that close to the playoffs, you'd hope it's playoffs next year. Playoffs? All right, the 15th overall selection in this year's draft belongs to the Columbus Blue Jackets, who had a hell of a run. One hell of a run. They nearly made the playoffs. They lost on a tiebreaker, despite having, it was either the third or the fourth fewest regulation wins in the entire league. But they had so many overtime wins and I guess losses, but overtime wins as well. And nearly made the playoffs. But Columbus is drafting 15th. Now, at 14th overall, this year's 14th pick belongs to the New Jersey Devils. Okay. It didn't even occur to me when I drew the number and saw who should be here, which should be the Toronto Maple Leafs. It did not dawn on me that with 1.8% odds of jumping up into the top 3 overall, because, obviously the percentage increases between the second lottery and the third lottery. So starting off 1.8. But we have a brand new record, ladies and gentlemen. There's no confetti because it's not me. But the Toronto Maple Leafs have jumped up into the top 3 from 14th. So the New Jersey Devils drop 1 spot to 14. Coming up next. Come on, baby. Let the good times roll. I don't want to see my team right here. I want another lucky jump up. That, I guess, unlucky, lucky number 13 is the Carolina Hurricanes. So I did not move up the way the Toronto Maple Leafs did. In fact, somehow, despite having, I don't know the odds. I was going to say 2.7% odds of moving down. I don't know if that's actually correct, but Somehow, the Carolina Hurricanes have moved down one spot. That's par for the course. I went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals last year and then missed the playoffs. Am I the 1994 New Jersey Devils? Or 95 New Jersey Devils? What is going on? Anyway, the 12th overall selection... because now we're just going to see teams just tumbling, I guess. The 12th overall selection in this year's draft belongs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, Pittsburgh falls to one spot to 12th. Now, at number 11, the Detroit Red Wings. Talking about me falling out of the playoffs entirely. The Detroit Red Wings, 2 years ago, won the EHE Stanley Cup. Last year, the Grand Rapids Griffins won the EHE Calder Cup. And this year, neither team made the playoffs. And Detroit nearly went bankrupt at the end of the season. So it's going to be an interesting offseason. However, will Detroit move up? No. In fact, they moved down one spot to 11th. So now... all that build up, huh? The entire San Jose... I don't know if Ryan was born in San Jose. But between Ian, who no longer lives in San Jose, but born in San Jose, as far as I know, and myself, born in San Jose, still live here. Cisco, born in San Jose, still live here. And Ryan, maybe born in San Jose, does not live here. All four of us somehow all bunched up together, and we all dropped one spot. That is ridiculous. And there's going to be some infighting, I think, at the draft. At number 10, sorry to delay that for you here, because it's the St. Louis Blues. Now, the St. Louis Blues, of course, jumped up to number 1 last year. So they moved up one spot to number 1 last year. They've dropped one spot to number 10 this year. So far, only Toronto has moved up. And we'll see what happens. Will anyone else? At 9th overall, it will be the Washington Capitals. Now, it felt weird putting this graphic here because the Washington Capitals for years and years and years have made the playoffs. And in fact, I think this might be the first time they didn't make the playoffs. Now, the signs have been that they'd eventually make it to the lottery, but they've been able to hang on over the last few years. So Travis Korostkowski will have the 9th overall pick. And now the Snowman pick at 8th overall. It will be the Winnipeg Jets. So Winnipeg also falls one spot. I sense a trend here. Of course, at this point, no one can, unless you move up, you have to move down one spot. Winnipeg at 8th overall. And another team that seemed to be doing good things, and then something happened this year. I can't really remember if it was free agents departing or what. I know that Winnipeg's going to have to replenish that prospect pool because many of their players were reactivated for this year and have now gone overseas seemingly permanently. So time to rebuild the farm there, Joe. 7th overall in this year's draft lottery. It's late. I'm tired. Belongs to the Calgary Flames. So the Calgary Flames again in the draft lottery. Now, last year they moved up. They weren't in the top 4 or so like they have been. They were 11th last year, but they were 2nd in 2019, 1st in 2018, and again here near the bottom of the league. So, you know, and the Stockton Heat didn't make the playoffs either. So what you gonna do, brother, up in Calgary? Okay, the number 6th overall pick in this year's draft belongs to the Florida Panthers. So Florida moves down one spot to 6th. And now to the 5th overall selection in this year's draft, and it belongs to the Vancouver Canucks. So Vancouver, who had moved up last year, I believe from 7th to 2nd, they fall one spot here from 4th to 5th. So now, the moment of truth. We know one team has moved up so far. will 2 teams move down? Yeah, something like that. Will 2 teams move down? Will 1 team move down? How will this all go? The 4th overall selection in this year's draft belongs to the Montreal Canadiens. They have done it again. So, I didn't think in 2018 it could get any worse than the Calgary Flames' 20-win season. And then in 2020, Montreal did it. They somehow managed to only win 17 games. And then didn't win the draft lottery either. Winning is apparently very hard to do in Montreal. So this season, they decided to only win 16 games. And again, had the best overall chance of getting the first pick in the draft. And they fell to 4th again. Well. Shall we get into the top 3? The 3rd overall selection in this year's EHE Entry Draft belongs to, the Seattle Kraken. So GM, you have the 3rd overall selection in this year's draft. And so we know one thing about Seattle. They maintained their odds, the same odds that Vancouver had, but Vancouver fell to 5th. Seattle managed to hang on for 3rd with those tentacle, the octopus tentacle, the kraken tentacle thing. So anyway, now let's get to the top 2. And as usual, I always go with the 2nd pick first here. So the 2nd overall pick in this year's draft belongs, it's going to be a Canadian team, we know that, belongs to the Edmonton Oilers. So Edmonton maintains their 2nd overall selection in this year's draft, which means the only team in the top 3, or the top 3 odds, who fell were the Montreal Canadiens, because the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft belongs to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you serious? With 1.8% odds, the Toronto Maple Leafs hold the first overall selection. And I can't believe this. Like, it's obviously random. It's all up to chance. You've had the lottery list for weeks. But I feel good for you, Joe, because I know that it's been a very hard last year or 2 years for you and your family. So I'm glad that EHE can bring something positive to you and good to you. And now it brings you the first overall selection in this year's draft lottery. So let's just throw the paper. Carolina, yeah, we didn't move up. We moved down. I don't really want to throw my phone, but here's a pen, and I'm out of here. Wow. Congratulations to the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is insane. They should have been 14th. You would think they would have been 14th. Maybe I tried. I tried at the end of the season to win. I had that nice 3-game winning streak at the end that I thought was actually hurting my chances of winning the, having a chance to win the draft. But I was really, really sour about losing this year throughout the year. So I was actually really happy to get that 3-game winning streak. Apparently I needed like a 5-game winning streak to move up in the standings and somehow move up in the draft lottery to first overall. But I didn't. Joe did. Congratulations. I know I sound a little bit bitter. I'm actually just like sleep deprived, and but wow. So guys, do you want to change the draft lottery format for next year to match the NHL, or keep this one because you need a little excitement? We bring it to you in the EHE Draft Lottery. Now, the draft itself will begin on Saturday, August 21st. Thank you all. Well, most of you, Anaheim and Minnesota, provided no feedback whatsoever for the draft, so thank you very much. But thank you to the other 29 GMs in the league. for getting that list. And soon we will have 32 teams. Seattle will be drafting third. The Edmonton Oilers, Gilbert Dubois, will be drafting second overall, and the first overall pick belongs with Joe Bubange and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thank you. Have a good night, and go Checkers, because at least I still have a playoff team left. Ian, what was the little saying you said? Oh yeah, I'm fucking coming for you.